somehow good. Bicycle computer, saya sudah pakai sejak tahun 2013. This one we recognize everybody who have contributed to the survey because we cannot do by ourselves. It takes a lot of time, energy, blah 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 blah. So everybody who have contributed ada nama dekat sana. Kalau tertinggal beritahu saya. These are the people ramai from the Sabah Wildlife Department as well as from the Sabah Foundation. Ada juga daripada Sabah Environmental Trust, and both of us are from UMT. So normally I would go into the forest, but as you are getting a bit further in your life, you tend to go where the roots are. Everybody knows why we are doing the work, because animals are very important for the ecological maintenance of the forest, and they are sort of the gardener for our rainforest. So when we go through, we check the entire database in the world. There are only 2 papers published on Taliwas. Ada 2 saja paper. And this paper are on forestry and genetics. And there is nothing on the wildlife. So when there's nothing on the wildlife, this is the opportunity that we have to do. Whether you walk, you crawl, or you do anything, it's going to be publishable. So that's why I wanted to come to Taliwas, because I said, oh my God. I said, Nodi, we have to go because there's nothing been published on Taliwas. So we wanted to just do some visual, some people call it VES, but I just say you teropong saja, or you have your eye, a pen or a pencil, and a sheet of paper, 3 things, and you yourself have to be there and to record. Then you evaluate for the potential for research as well as for further education, especially for the students, and whether it can be used for your edu-tourism or recreation. So we use the roads that are found around the base camp. We use all these roads and and also some of the roads have been highly used by the vehicle and so on. Sometimes you cannot see a lot of a thing. Remember our base camp? In the morning you can see a lot of monkeys raiding your tent. We just do some spotlighting for 9 nights and opportunistic survey based on indirect or direct sighting. And then we try to figure out the species richness in terms of the numerical value, how many of each of the species. Then we try to figure out the abundance in terms of per kilometer. But if you put per kilometer, then you have 0.01 animal per camp. That doesn't make any sense. So we convert that to per 10 kilometers so that it makes some sense. We found 22 species of mammal, and some of these mammals are good for source of protein for the local. And some of these species are also endangered. The gibbons, the orangutan, as well as the elephant. These are endangered species. And out of that, there were 39 species of birds. In terms of abundance, about 2.17 mammal per 10 kilometers. At the base camp, you can almost see the deer every night. And but away from the base camp, it's very low, 1.68 per 10 kilometers. So when you try to figure out still the area around the base camp have a lot of resources, and you can see a lot of animals. So what does it mean? It means that if you want to build your facilities for this tourists and so on, you can just train our staff, your guys, to know which animal, and they just can walk around the base camp area and can detect a lot of animals around the base camp area. So these are some of the animals, the muskrat civet, the common civets, as well as the rusa. Actually, we got the photograph from someone else. We can see, but we cannot get the nice picture as the lighting was very bad. And yeah, there's the photo trail. The monkey as well as the deer. And gibbons and the elephant, a lot of elephant in the area. If you are lucky, you can meet them. There was sighting of tarsier and slow loris. So when we were there, we were hoping to see a lot of pigs, but I was told they were having a lot of problem. So the sign of pig is becoming rare in the area. And some of these animals might be affected by the road being used by a lot of vehicles. So in conclusion, it's a good site, Dr. Waidi, for your research. I mean, you just walk a few meters, you can see a lot of signs of mammal in the area. Yeah? So unlike the bats, you have to carry your equipment into the forest. So for the night safari sort of tourism, it's going to be very good. For the small mammal, maybe you have to purchase the animal detector that vocalize, and you can have the vocal library, and then it will tell you which species is that. So I think you need sustainable financing. I think in that aspect, Yayasan Sabah is very successful. Yeah? Very successful. You have a lot of model that you can work on, and there are a lot of sponsors out there because they recognize your good work. Orang tahu bahwa Yayasan Sabah memang buat kerja dan ada hasil. Itu yang penting. So maybe try to get sustainable financing for the area, and also try to get some money for the student. Kesian studentnya, kadang makan Maggi saja. Sekurang-kurangnya ada asrama di situ, ada dan sebagainya. Sekurang-kurangnya dia boleh tidur dan makan cuma. Something like that, and ada kenderaan yang bawa masuk student. You can do the training of trainer. So saya ada bawa buku untuk visa. Mana visa? Okay, buku itu di dalam kotak besar. So ada 3 buku modul, and we can ask our lecturer to come here and work on for your module to train the trainers. They call it TOT, training of training. So what we did last time was we worked with the wildlife department, and they bring their people, we bring our people, and then those guys have the green badge. So selepas 2 minggu training, dia mendapat certificate, dan every year kena recertify and so on. So you can start with that module yang you sudah nampak dalam kotak itu. And also I would urge to bring the student, mengambil anak angkat, sekolah sebagai anak angkat, so that the word will spread to the entire country, go to Taliwas and so on. Itu saja, Tuan Pengisi, and terima kasih banyak to everybody yang support our work. It's very tedious, very tiring, kena bangun awal pagi dan juga malam balik lewat. Itu saja. But the result is very interesting. Terima kasih.
I saw Professor David just entered it just now. Can I have? Yeah, Green David. Welcome, Prof. Okay, question for what do I do?
I have a question. What is the question related to because this part of the world, Sabah, it's not like Indonesia or Thailand, where there's a friendly relationship with the elephant and the people. What do you think is the potential conflict between elephant and tourism in this state in the future? Because I remember going to Kandang Valley many years ago when I was young. 5 years I was there, I had this elephant. Every time I go to Kandang Valley today, I see sign of elephant. First question, second question. Very big. What do you think is the impact of the absence of, or the absence of the very pigs? Third question. Will you turn back?
Yeah.
Third question. What would you recommend a topic of study, research that Taliwas can support in relation to leadership?
Terima kasih. This is very tough. It's a tough question, but I try to answer. I think if you go to Thailand, they are using elephant, a lot of elephant-based tourism. So either those elephant, having a conflict with the population, and they take it out and have an elephant show, but I will not recommend that. But I like the tagline I saw in Danau. You are lucky if you can see the elephant. Okay, meaning that we don't promise elephant, but we will tell you there are elephants inside there, and you are lucky if you can see one. So I was lucky when I went to, I met Dr. Zana, and he told me, Tash, at 5 o'clock, I am sure you can see the elephant. So to answer that, you have to talk to Dr. Zana. He was very sure, and we just we drove back and forth. We saw elephant. So he got this elephant knowledge that I don't have. But yes, you can have that sort of elephant tourism. What I understand from Bora's work, they have an elephant feeding area. Yeah?
I mean,
betul. So you need some elephant feeding area. So they plant ficus, and they also planted some grass, right? And because the elephant have to walk, so you just stand there and watch the elephant come up to feed that certain area. So you do not have to go near the animal. They can use good telescope or good camera to take the photograph. So it's just a very simple way to sort of encourage the elephant to come there without having to disturb their behavior. So I would suggest you talk to the Zana, dengan Prof. Hamid also, because they are in the team and they won the national award, correct?
Yep.
For the fig planting, and you can get the figs. I think there are a lot of figs in Tabing, and go plant those figs in Taliwas. The second question was about
What would be
BRSP. Yes. If you want to study, then I don't know. You have to work with some. I don't know whether the medical faculty in UMS having zoonotic researcher. Ada?
Yeah, they have.
Ada. So you need some guys to work, and they must have BSL 3, I guess, 3 plus or 3. Mesti ada lab yang do the isolation and so on. At least check where the spread, whether it's still in the pig or not. We have worked with Leptospira, for instance. While they say Leptospira, I'm giving you example, only occur in rats, but then when we sample other species, we found Leptospira in other species. So it doesn't mean that your African swine disease are affecting the BRP. It can be in other things, it can be the carrier, or it can be a reservoir. So one of the reservoir for Leptospira are the monkey. Dia adalah reservoir. And all this while we are thinking about the rats. And when we sample the monkey will have been Leptospira. So apa ini? Because there's a lack of research. So yes, we have to do that. Find the pathway of transmission and so on. And what research to be done, get the undergraduate to at least undergraduate, ada bachelor student, okay, volunteer to go and sample some other animal. It doesn't mean the pigs, but some other ungulates and so on. They may or may not, you know. And then have master's and PhD student request for FRGS or TRGS. I'm the panelist. I can help to show you how to take the grant. You must have your conceptual framework, your research framework, and the output must be very strong, having all the publication and training of PhD and master student. So the money is there, and normally for zoonotic diseases, in one cycle you may have only 1 or 2 applicants, so the chances is very high. What was the last question?
Given the lack of or the absence of a wild boar, what sort of study would you recommend to
Okay.
not related to the disease?
Okay. There are other species that are dependent on the wild boar. So those are the felids. So I don't know what else they are there, but we can get help from our friend Dr. Rahim Ashar to put some camera in your area and find out what other species of the carnivore that might have been impacted by the absence of the pigs, and this carnivore must be now going for other animals, the sunkancher or the deer and so on. So kita tak tahu. So that is the cascading impact of not having the food for the other carnivore. So boleh buat yang itu juga. Or the other one is to reintroduce the prey species, I mean the bearded pig, and monitor them. So that sort of applied research that will be useful to have a look at the food web and also at the ecosystem inside Talibas. I don't know whether they answer your question, but obviously you need a lot of money and you need young people to do that. I can tell you what to do, but you have to do it. Somebody have to cari najis filidae and so on, and also try to put some collars in some animal and find out what is the total impact of not having the prey species in Talibas.
Thank you, Dato'. Ladies and gentlemen, we almost reaching 1 p.m. I think we take a break now, and we will have 1 hour break before we come back here for the next paper at 2. So thank you very much, Dato' Tajuddin, and probably we can add any questions.